Right now on WUSA 9 News at 5, day 2 of the government shutdown is coming to a close with no real end in sight. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
And I'm Annie Yu. At this point, it looks like the shutdown will extend into next week. The Senate took a break from voting today for Yom Kippur, and any vote that might take tomorrow is expected to fail. Meanwhile, the House is not in session and won't return until Tuesday.
And today, the Trump administration again threatened mass layoffs of federal workers. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says thousands of jobs are on the chopping block.
Those conversations are taking place today. I won't prejudge them. I won't get ahead of them. Look, we're going to look at agencies that don't align with the administration's values that we feel are a waste of the taxpayer dollar.
Rafael Sanchez Cruz is in the studio with us tonight. Rafael, any indication of which agencies might be targeted by the potential cuts?
Yeah, Annie, the White House hasn't named any specific agencies just yet. However, President Donald Trump did post this on Truth Social, that he's meeting with the director of the Office of Management and Budget, Director Russell Vought, who is also one of the architects of the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025. They'll determine which, quote, Democrat agencies they'll temporarily or permanently cut because according to the president, they're a political scam. Speaker Mike Johnson had this to say about that meeting.
Russ has to sit down and decide, because he's in charge of that office, which policies, personnel, and which programs are essential and which are not. That is not a fun task, and he is not enjoying that responsibility. And it could end today if the Senate Democrats would come to their senses and do the right thing for the American people. But if they don't, and if they keep the government closed, it's going to get more and more painful. They're going to look to see for the administration's priorities first and ensure that those are funded.
So no specific agencies just yet, but the OMB director has advocated for cuts to Medicaid and the Department of Education and USAID programs and agencies that have already been hit. Even as recently as last month, Vought said he didn't believe the Government Accountability Office should exist. We're going to be monitoring to see if there's any kind of update to which agencies are now the target of the Trump administration.
Yeah, and more uncertainty for these federal workers. All right, Rafa, thank you.
Thanks, Rafael. A new poll finds more people blame the president and Republicans for the government shutdown.
Yeah, this is according to the Washington Post. Nearly half of those surveyed say it's the GOP's fault for not reaching a deal. That's compared to 30% who blame Democrats for this stalemate.
About 25% did not pick a side, and the poll was done yesterday on the first full day of the shutdown. It included people from across the country, so a little pulse of the people there.
Yeah. All right. Looking ahead now to this weekend, there's a town hall in Loudoun County to talk about this shutdown. It's happening Saturday at Sterling Middle School. Doors open at 1:30 in the afternoon. The event goes from 2 until 3. It's hosted by Democratic Congressman Suha Subramaniam. You can RSVP right now on his website.
We'll have more shutdown coverage coming up at 5:30 tonight, including how the shutdown is already impacting some local businesses. We're also answering your questions about what's happening. If you have a question, you can send it to us by texting it to the number on your screen, or you can text the word shutdown to get a link to all of our coverage so far. You can also go ahead and scan this QR code on your screen to find it all in one